Hi everybody, it's Julie from Julie's Craft Landing, and I'm gonna, while we're waiting for a couple people to come on here, I'm going to keep working on my my prep work that I was doing before I came on. And we are doing today, we are featuring Southern Serenade. That's what we've been featuring all along. And
hi, Laura.
Well, hi, Laura. Are you doing something you're supposed to be doing?
She's doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing.
Just kidding. That's an inside joke between Laura and I, because
she's helping.
She helps us down at work, and
we appreciate her greatly.
She's holding it down right now while we have an employee out today. So I said, you can even watch us live while working. We'll even pay you. So what we're doing is the Southern Serenade, and we're going to make it kind of started as a one-sheet wonder, but we spun away from that. So we're on a let's see here. We're on it's a 5-sheet wonder. So
Marianne joined. She wants to know if we'll pay her too to watch.
No paying her to watch. Sorry, Marianne.
You're on your own.
You're on your own for this one. Yes, this was started, my thought was, I'm going to do a one-sheet wonder. You see these one-sheet wonders, and you know, what a wonder, for those of you that don't know what a one-sheet wonder is, it's when you take one sheet of paper, typically a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and you make a lot of times like 10 different cards out of it. Now you have to make your card bases, that's separate, but then you cut up all the rest of the paper and put it together, and you can make all these cute cards out of
a single sheet.
One single sheet of paper. Well, those that know me know that I'm not really good at simple. Simple's not really up my alley. So my one-sheet wonder spun to a 5-sheet wonder. Now, I will admit, I am down to 5 cardstock sheets. So that was a big difference. The other thing that I did that you'll notice with this is some people would, because I wanted a colored background, people would typically on a one-sheet wonder use a white background, and that would be their card base. Mine is actually a colored sheet, and this is going to glue onto a white base. So that's why we kind of spun out of control here a little bit. But so I am going to get started here because we have a lot. Oh, here's another one. We have a lot to cover here.
And we have to get kids.
And the kids get out of school at 1 o'clock. We have about a 15-minute leeway to leave here and grab them. So we are going to get started and see how far we get on this project.
Hi, Janice.
I do. Hi, Janice. So I have done a little bit of prep work, not as much as I'd hoped, because
12 o'clock rolled around faster than you thought.
I've been working on this all week, and it's still rolled around faster than I planned. I'm not sure why that is. So let's start with, and just so that everyone knows, what I've done is, what actually took me a long time is I actually wrote this all up in a PDF. So those that have placed an order with the host code for this week, which I have posted on the website and on Facebook and places, and I can't remember the host code off the top of my head, but I know it starts with like MN or something like that. And I will get that posted on this Facebook. Those that have used that host code this week are going to get this, they're going to get the template for this, or not the template, the tutorial for this, which I have it all done up so that it's super easy to read and figure out. And you'll also get the pieces for all of this but not the card bases. You'll have to put it on your own card bases. So that's what you're going to get this week. And that actually took me a decent amount of time to get all that done, because I've never done that before where I've written all this out, drawing it all up. So this is kind of I drew this on here so that I had something to follow, but this is what the tutorial will show you, and then you can either draw it on your paper and then cut it out.
You've got markings on it. It's hard for us to see that.
Oh, it's hard to see it?
Yeah.
And then you can either write it on the paper just like this if that helps you, or you can just cut it out as you go, but you will get all that. I went through and wrote on each of those, each of my sheets, so now all I have to do is go through and just cut these up. So
Crazy.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to start with Blackberry Bliss, and we're just going to start, all I'm going to do for this first bit is just cut these up. Cut up each of these pieces. Now, what I recommend is, when you guys go to do this, a big recommendation, always remember, we're only going to see the front side of these pieces. So on one, and they're cardstock, so it doesn't matter which side you write on. On one side of your paper, write down what card you're working on. Now I have my cards all marked here. So we have, this is A, I have that as B, and on the tutorial it will have these. C, they're hard to read once they go through the E, F. There's D, E, F, and G. So write down what card letter you're working on so that you know, that way you don't have to go back each time and remeasure to see which piece it is, because we're going to do all the pieces first. So write them down. The other thing that you can do is write them down and then place them in piles. So A pile, B pile, C pile, so that you have them all sorted out when you're done.
Sort your parts.
Sort your parts as you go. So, first piece of Blackberry Bliss. This one's super easy. This is going to be for these 4 cards right here. All I'm doing is cutting a card base. A card front that's going to go on the card base. So all we're doing is cutting, and these are all 8.5 by 11 sheets. So 8.5 by 11, we're cutting at 5.5 and 4 1/4. We're doing 4 of these. That's going to make, we're doing 4 1/4. Now I'm going to tell you guys that I have a feeling this is going to be partially good and partially crash and burn, because I was cutting today and have just been really a little out of sorts the whole time. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to cut this piece at, 4 1/4, and I'd line it up and cut it at 4, even though I'd said it in my head. So I'm just going to lay these actually right underneath here so that I know that those go with those. Now, my other piece of Blackberry Bliss, I am going to cut. Now this sheet, so when I said that it's 5 sheets, this one is not a full sheet of paper that we're going to use up here. So I am going to cut, let's see here. What's the best way? How should we start this cut line? It's so hard to see down here. I'm going to go down my 8.5 inch side. I'm going to go down to 4 1/4. And I'm going to cut over to 3 1/4. So I have a 3 1/4 wide or 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Then I'm going to cut again, going down this same one. I'm going to cut 3 1/4 wide. I'm going to do a second one. I should have done this in a pen, because honestly I can just barely see these lines down here. And because I can see I missed that just a little bit, but that's okay. We're just going to fudge any of these that we have to. And then these bottom ones are 3 inch wide by 4 inch high. And again, I know you guys aren't going to be making these along as I go. You can do this later, but you'll want this tutorial in front of you to have these measurements down, because just going off of what I'm saying right here is going to be difficult. This is 3 inches wide by 4 inches high for this one. And then let's put these in place. So this is card D. This is card F. Card, see what I mean? But you want to put them in place here. C. And card E. There we go. Okay, moving on to this is mint macaroon. We're gonna do. We're doing. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces out of this. 3 pieces are gonna be 5 and 3/8 inches high. So I'm gonna cut those 3 first. And the first one is gonna be by 4 1/8. The next one's going to be by 2 1/8. And the next one's going to be by 2 1/4. And this is on our piece on the end here. This is 2 1/2, and we're going to do this 2 1/2 by 4 1/8. And this is going to be 5 1/4 wide by 3 1/8 high. And this piece is going to be 3 inches high by 3 3/4 wide. And this piece is 2 inches wide by 4 1/4 high. And so of my mint macaroon, that's what I have left over.
Man.
Yeah. I used quite a bit of that one up.
Pretty much cleared that up.
I did. I'm just going to set these over here for now so that you don't have to watch me sort. And now I'm going to go to my Calypso Coral. Now I would have liked to have used a little more of this. I'm not sure what happened. I thought I had more of this color in here. I love this color. I ended up using most of it just for the fronts. So this is, I'm going over on my 11.5 sheet of paper. I'm going over 5 1/2, and I'm going to cut it all the way down. And then I'm going 4 1/4, and I'm cutting 2 sheets for that. This is for card G.
Golly gee.
Oops, this is G down here. And card A. This one I'm going to just cut at, this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. That's for this one. And then this is what I have left down here is 4 1/4 high. I'm going to cut it at 2 3/4 wide. Card A. And then I got one little piece right here that I'm going to cut 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And so this is what I have left over. Now, I could do something with that, but by the time I realized I had that left over, I couldn't figure out what to do with it that quickly. So
But even that's not very much.
that's not much left over. Now I'm just going to do my white pieces here, and I'm going to go down to 4 1/8, and I'm just going to cut. So on my 8.5 inch side, I'm going to cut all the way on that one. Then I'm going to, going across on my 11-inch side, I'm going to cut this at 2 5/8, 2 5/8, 3 1/3, 3 1/3, or 3 1/8, if I can read my own handwriting here. And this is 2 5/8 left over, and I'm going to cut this to down to 3 1/2 high. So cut off that little bottom part. Put that there. And now on these pieces, this is 4 1/8. I have high, and I'm going to cut this at 3 1/8. I'm going to go over and cut at 2 7/8. I'm going to go over and cut again at 2 7/8. And on this one, I'm going to cut at 3 7/8 for my height. This one, I'm going to cut my height at 3 5/8. Okay, and this is what I have left over for my punches, which is probably not going to be enough. We're probably going to use just a little bit more white on this. So that's our cutting. We're done cutting now. So let's, now what I'm going to do is throw you guys off here.
Hi, Carrie.
We're going to, hi Carrie. I'm just going to set all these aside right here because I have already cut all of these up for myself here. So we're going to go back to using these. Okay, now I'm going to lay these out in my order of cards. So A, C, D, we're going to do this, try to do this fast. E,
It's like a little assembly line of
G.
different cards.
I know, this is like a race to see how fast. See if I can do this before you guys get too bored. E, F. My alphabetizing is not good. A, B, C, D, E, F. Whoa, look at.
Tough to read.
Well, no, this is, I have 2 letters on it.
Oh, that makes it a little difficult to.
I think they're both D's, but this one I thought was a G to start with, and a D down here, so I'm going to blame operator error. Okay, onward we go. G, B, C. Card players could do much better at this. E, A, F, C. Carrie, this is a race against time since you're just joining in here. We are racing to see if I'm going to get these cards done first or if the school's going to call saying that we forgot to pick up the kids first. So, A, G, and you can see I started, my plan was to start, to have all of these all through the big shot so that we didn't have, you guys didn't have to watch me do the big shot, but
You have to be a big shot.
the big shot. So, so what I'm doing is I'm going to do these bases here. Some of these cards, I will say on here, I did modify the project that we're doing a little bit, so keep that in mind just a little bit. B, we're actually going to do as trellis. I'm calling this trellis. I don't know why. I don't even know if that's the name of it, but I'm calling it trellis.
I thought it was something berry.
No, the embossing. Can you guys see the embossing on it?
I couldn't even see it.
Yeah, see that? This is my favorite embossing
Angle
folder.
It. Angle it.
Which angle? You angle while I do this.
Ooh, there you can kind of see it. Yeah, look at that.
And this one's got a wrong piece in it, I can tell. Oh, maybe not. It's just got an extra piece. Oh, that's why. It goes here. Subtle trellis. Okay. So we're gonna run these through. Big Shot, Trellis. For those that you don't know, that's the embossing folder. We're running through the Trellis. Like I said, don't know if it's called that. This is Retiring. I love this one. If you guys are into embossing folders, pick this up because this is a great one before they run out.
Does it have a real name?
It does have a real name. We'll have to look it up to see what it is.
Okay.
It may be Trellis even. I might be calling it the right name, but does anybody know? Anybody want to look that up for me while I'm lining up the trellis?
No, I didn't know if it was like on that little thing you had over there.
Oh no,
Okay.
it's not listed. They should write it on the thing. That would actually be a good idea. So we'll see if anyone comes up with it while I'm running this through here. While I'm doing this, so we're gonna just run these through. And this one, you can show them this one while I'm running these through.
Well, that's got kind of a wood grain
That one, no, well, it's called Subtle. It's just, you know how sometimes you can buy your paper with some texture to it? It's just a little, it just gives it some texture. So
Nice.
it, so that, and I know that one's called Subtle.
And here's the embossed pattern. Really see that texture on there.
Yeah, because these I'm doing actually a little thicker here. Well, look at what he's done. You guys all know.
I dropped them right back into where they were.
This was A, B. Okay,
Yeah.
I won't yell at you. Not this one. Maybe next time. Trellis. Anybody come up with that? What it's called? Is anybody listening? Paying attention? Or even here? Have I bored everybody already? Jeepers. All I did was cut. Obviously, I'm not entertaining enough for everyone today. I can tell you about my peanut butter and jelly experience.
That's right. Yeah, you went and did your peanut butter and jelly sandwich making last night.
I did, and I can tell you about that because it really was interesting. Because I really had to put my, not that I have OCD really, but you know how we all joke about OCD. I really had to put that aside because, first of all, I don't like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But that's okay. That's, you know, what they're making them and everything. This is for the homeless. We made 250 sandwiches for the homeless. So we get there. They line the bread up.
Kind of like your cards.
Yeah, in long rows of bread. And then they put the
Peanut butter?
the peanut butter in a bag and cut the end off so like we were doing cake decorating almost. And they squeezed it out down the long lines. And then they took the jelly and squeezed it out.
Same thing in another.
Same thing down. And then they took a spatula and smeared it all together to make the peanut butter and jelly. I was horrified.
It's a big assembly line. You gotta knock out those sandwiches.
Well, and that was okay. That I might have been able to get over. But then they handed it to us. The very first one I pick up, because now there's peanut butter and jelly all down the sides of it and everything. So I pick it up and I go to put it, because I was the bagger. I had to put it in the little plastic baggies. And it, let me tell you, it was all over. I had peanut butter and jelly everywhere. And I was like, we can't give them these bags that have peanut butter and jelly all over them. They're like, oh no, it's fine. They won't care. Oh my gosh. I don't like peanut butter and jelly to begin with, let alone all over a baggie that I go to pick up. It was hard for me, but I guess I mean, I feel bad, but when they're hungry, I guess they're not going to complain.
Well, and you're trying to get as many done and feed as many people as possible, so it may not be the prettiest job, but at least you're getting the job done.
At least they're getting something to eat.
Yeah.
And that's what they said, and we had to, I mean, I did get that. So this was a ministry called HRC, I think. And it was like a food bank, and they give food to the homeless, but they also give food to I have a really hard time talking at the same time and doing this, but that's okay. I was surprised. They actually give food and snacks to the low-income schools also, which that kind of surprised me. I guess so that the low-income schools, so that they can use that money for other stuff. I don't know, or I guess because they're just giving snacks, because I know the schools get money to pay for the food, but I don't know how all that works for budgets and stuff like that. So anyway, they supply that. So, okay. I think we got all those run through the big shop now. It's gonna be whatever. We'll find out what that's like when we're done here. Now, our white pieces of paper and
Marianne says she's working on cards, so she's just listening.
okay, you're just listening, perfect. But if you can still comment, actually one of the things I was gonna do, I think this is a great idea, is everybody that comments gets entered into a drawing. And then I will draw and do a giveaway for everybody that commented on stuff this week. How does that sound? Is everybody up for that? I'll go through and write your name down, and you get entered in if you comment. I think it's a good idea.
I think so.
Okay. I'm going to set these aside here. This might have been a little much for a Facebook Friday, but hey,
Look at all those rooms.
we're giving this a whirl, a whirly gigs,
Out here.
seeing how it goes. Okay, we're going to take our white pieces of paper, and we are going to do this all in one big swoop. I'm going to take a big block. I'm going to take black ink. That's the one minimal thing that I'm doing, is the only ink pad I'm using is black.
Because they're all the same floral pattern.
Yep. And we're going to take the floral here, because they're all colored they're colored with the markers. So put this one, we're going with this one right here, this lovely little stamp. It's been well used.
It's lovely.
Loverly. Just loverly. Okay. And let's lay these out in an assembly line here.
Janice likes your embossing. It's impressive embossing.
Ooh, impressive embossing. Thank you, Janice. I like the embossing too. I think it's pretty cool. I actually tried to, why they call these two the same thing, but the other type, the heat embossing, when you put the ink on, Marianne's like a heat embossing queen. I am not so good at it. I tried to heat emboss this because I thought this would look so pretty with like silver or gold embossed.
Where it's raised up.
Yeah, we have a little thing called a Stampin' Buddy that helps with the static and stuff, I guess it is, or something. And I couldn't find mine, so I thought, well, that's okay. I can make it work without it. I've heard dryer sheets work, so I went and got a dryer sheet. I've heard paintbrushes. I went and got a paintbrush. Well, every time I put the embossing powder on, it wouldn't all come off. And so I was getting this hue that stayed on there, that when I heated it up, it permanently stayed on there. I tried 4 or 5 times and just couldn't do it. So I finally just threw my hands up and said, never mind. Good idea, but it wasn't going to happen for this one.
It happens.
Yep, sometimes you just got to throw in the towel and say, you know what, not gonna work. I'm gonna leave this to Marianne because she's the one that can do that heat embossing, and
She may have even made a video about it.
she may have. Marianne's Stamp Around the Corner. She's my downline, and is
She's a swell gal.
she's swell. She does a lot of tutorials that she puts on YouTube. She also does them on Facebook, and is Marianne and I are really good friends. I will tell everybody that. Really good friends. Marianne and I are like two peas in a pod, so similar in some ways that it'd make you roll your eyes.
I roll mine regularly at you guys.
Yes, I know. But I'll tell you, we are so opposite in some ways too that it makes it quite comical.
Marianne's probably laughing right now.
I know. And so as she's sitting
I can
there,
picture her laughing at us right now, talking about her.
yeah, as she's sitting there doing her crafting, let me tell you, Marianne is precise. She
She's putting crazy faces on here.
like does her cuts are perfect. Her everything is very precise. It's beautiful. I have nothing against it. I'm not like saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's not me. If I went for perfection,
She doesn't crash land like you do.
she does not crash land like I do, which is crazy. If I went for perfection, I would never ever get anything done. I would never finish my cards. Ever.
Except for when you met me.
That was perfection.
Something like that.
Something like that. So, you know, it was funny. I was watching another show the other day. See, this is how I can tell it's not going to be perfection because...
Your cuts are off.
Oh, wait, that says used for punches.
Imagine that.
I'm not sure what that one's for. I'm just going to set that aside for now. So I was watching a show the other day and watching something online, and they were calling, you know how when you watch YouTube videos or whatever and they have different cute little names for each other, for husband and wife and kids and all that. So I was like, what should I call? And it goes with their name and everything. They're like, whatever their name is. So I was like, what should I call?
Your spouse nickname?
Oh, or mine. Like, what do I call myself? Some people like Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. I don't know, whatever. So I'm just gonna start gluing these together. So you can see I cut it out. The only things I haven't done at this point is the labels. So I'm just gonna start layering these guys together. Just as I look right over there while I tell this story. So I'm thinking to myself, what should I call Josh? I call him Josh. You guys hear me call him Josh. Call him my husband. But what should I call him for my craft landing? Julie's craft landing. What should I call myself and what should I call him? I haven't told him this yet. So I came up with something.
I'm laughing because I'm waiting to hear what it is.
I know. He's waiting. The anticipation, it's killing you.
I know.
I know. So what did I come up with?
Oh, gosh.
I'm Kraft, Miss Kraft, Mrs. Kraft, and you're Mr. Crash. That's what I came up with. We're crafting Crash. I'm looking for glue here. On the hunt for glue that I know I put in, but
Torpedo? What's torpedo?
torpedo. Who wrote that?
Marianne.
Marianne. Marianne must fly with torpedoes on her airplane. Marianne and I have been on a lot of flights together too. This is actually kind of funny. I'm going to edge this guy while I'm doing this. Oh, I'm not going to because I don't have my Calypso Coral down here. If I had Calypso Coral, I would edge that. We've been on a lot of flights together. For some odd reason, there seems to be a lot of medical incidents on our flights when we're on there. And Marianne and I are not the most politically correct and say always, we say we don't have good filters. We'll put it that way. At least we're not loud about it.
So you're not saying it to somebody.
No, we're saying it just amongst each other. And we're not saying anything horrible, but, you know, we talk amongst each other. So there's a guy that's sick on one of our flights. We don't know what's wrong with him. They take him back to the back. Pretty soon we think he's laying down. We think he's dead. We're pretty sure there's a dead man on our flight. So we're trying to casually...
Who hasn't had that happen, though? Sorry, go ahead.
Do people die on every flight you're on?
No,
oh my gosh. And, so here we are trying to casually peek back to the back of the plane. I'm like, do you see anyone? She's like, I don't see anyone. I said, I think if he were dead, you'd see feet. Like, sticking out. Oh, it's bad. I'm telling you.
You guys are bad.
We are bad. We don't mean to be. It just happens. So, like I said, at least we weren't, like saying it so loud that other people around us heard us, and we were just joking around. It was.
You're just, yeah.
We are. I mean, it wasn't. We weren't serious. It was just. I mean, it's kind of one of those awkward situations that you have to kind of. I mean, luckily the good thing is, the man he was fine. He did end up walking off the plane and was just fine. So. Happy about that. I'm just still layering. I've moved on to, we got card A right here. You can see. I still got a little piece of paper right here that I haven't done anything with yet. I moved on to card C because card B looks like I'm not sure about card B yet. Maybe I'm not missing anything. I thought I was missing a piece in card B, but I might not be. Maybe I'll go back to B here in a second. I love doing cards like this where you can do a bunch of them all at once and have a big stockpile of them. This is one of my favorite ways to do cards. It's just things like this, big sets of them. I hear dogs dancing around upstairs. Okay, this is going to be C.
Got Fizzy all brushed out. She's ready for a grooming.
Oh, man. I didn't know that, so that's exciting news for me.
Fizzy will be excited to get groomed.
Okay, this is B. So I will keep doing like things like this for you guys so that you can have different tutorials and stuff on making things like this. And I'm sure I will get much better at it with time because it's, like I said, it's just trying to make sure you get all the pieces and everything is the hard part.
Well, you got 8 cards or something down here. You're trying to put all together at once. So
I know, in less than,
a lot.
In less than, I don't know how much time we have. Moving on to card D.
We got about 10-15 minutes before I gotta run and get kids.
Oh man, got to pick up speed.
Go glue, go.
Card D. You guys having fun? Anybody having fun? Let's get some thumbs up for those that is there a thumbs up thing on there?
Yeah, they give thumbs up.
Or hearts? Do you like it? Hearts? Who likes the colors? I love the colors.
Marianne, well, Laura gave you a thumbs up. And Marianne said, what stamp set is that?
This is Southern Serenade.
Southern Serenade.
I think personally, I think it's a really pretty stamp set because what I like about it is a good stamp set, especially for beginners, because it looks great when it's colored and it's simple. Here's
so pretty.
Here's all the different things. It's simple to color. Like there's some things that you got to color that are not simple to color. This one's simple, so I really like it when it's colored, and you can do it in, I mean, so many different colors. That's what makes it fun. Is whatever color's your favorite color, just color it on up.
Color on.
D, E. E.
Marianne, are you gonna jump in and do a live with Julie when you're over here? We got enough room for you two to sit side by
B,
side.
C, D, E. She is. She's never done a live before
It's all right. We'll walk her right through it.
because she worries about making mistakes. Therefore, come join me because I'll make them for you. You can blame me. And I'll tell you, if she lived here, we would do this together. We would be a hit because with time, we banter back and forth and this one I didn't obviously cut the right length, so I gotta recut here, make sure I'm still on E.
What colors are these? Janice is asking if these are the subtle colors.
This is, let's see, Mint Macaroon and Calypso Coral. These two are subtles. Blackberry Bliss is a bright. So some of them are subtle.
They still go well together. Gotta love those colors matching up.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna trim this one down a little bit because I probably went the wrong direction when I was writing my measurement down and wrote an 1/8 inch bigger instead of an 1/8 inch smaller. So I'll tell a Marianne and I story because we could tell these stories in and out all day long, I think. We were at a big craft fair, big scrapbooking event thing. And we were in the elevator. She'll start laughing because she knows the story I'm going with here. Yep, I'm going to tell this story. And we're talking about paper trimmers. And I said,
She's laughing on that.
yeah, she knows. I said, I like the paper trimmer, to have the numbers up and down so that I can see the numbers in the different directions. She says to me, gosh, I can't remember now what she said. Stopped the elevator. Everybody, this was a full elevator, in their tracks. The people stopped and looked at us.
These are all fellow crafters?
Yeah, but they didn't know us. And Marianne, do you remember what you said that stopped him? It was something like, it was to the sense of, are you stupid type of comment. I cannot remember. It might not have been that blunt.
She's teasing you, and they all think she's serious.
Oh, they thought she was serious. She was teasing, but they all thought that we were serious. And I am not kidding. No one said anything. Everybody stopped and looked at each other like...
I thought you guys were going to start throwing down.
Oh, yeah.
Cat fight.
Yep. That's normal for us, though. To throw down.
She says she can't remember either, but it was hysterical.
Oh, it was hysterical. Afterwards, it was like one of those moments. At the moment, it was actually funny, but afterwards, it was even more funny because we realized...
These other people are wondering what the heck you guys are saying to each
Yeah,
other.
like what we were saying, we realized like what was going on afterwards, and then it's kind of that moment of thinking, you gotta wonder what they were thinking. They were just like, the doors opened, and I'm talking, they were out of there.
Get away from these two.
Yep, they were not staying around to see what happened, see if I threw her down that elevator shaft or what, but... What's kind of fun about doing these sets like this, and I've done quite a few of these sets from other people doing them too, and, got them from other people. What's actually kind of fun, it's kind of the joy of doing them and seeing in the end, it's almost like a challenge to see how close you are, how many you mess up, how close you are to...
Just using the one sheet.
Well, just in general, because you'll go off of their measurements and cut everything, and then you'll get done, and all of a sudden be like, wonder what this piece was for. Like they didn't have an extra piece, but
It's kind of like your mechanic working on the car. You know, there's always a couple bolts left over.
it's like, I'm sure these aren't important. So it's always kind of fun to see what those, what you have left over in the end. Okay, guys, now we are going to go to the labels because I got all these guys down here. So if you don't have markers or don't want to color them, basically this is what they're going to look like without being colored. Or you can color them and have them look like that.
Sweet.
So that's kind of the difference. Now, punches. We are going to be using a whole lot of punches here.
For all the little doohickeys.
For all the doohickeys. So we're going to start right here and punch. Now this one you could do square if you needed to, but I have this little punch.
Nice.
And I'm going to punch, it looks like I need two of these. How are we doing?
We're doing well.
We're going to make it on time?
We hope so.
Okay. Now what I'm going to show you with punches, for those of you that don't know, we're going to learn a trick with punches here. And next, I'm going to do this cloud one. Looks like we have one cloud. Too bad I don't have the cloud punch with me. So we're going to do, I did not bring that one down. So we're going to do two of these. Which is the everyday label. This is just a good standard label there.
I just got a motion alert from our side camera. The little covey of quail are out there running around beside the house.
Oh, it's baby quail time.
It's quail time. They're all out there running around.
Now I'm going to go to the circles, and I'm going to cut out 1, 2, 3 1 1/4 inch circles. These are all in white. Did you guys see my post? What I found on my boob yesterday?
That wasn't for me.
It was a enamel dot. Now the problem was, I don't know how long it had been there for. I didn't find it until that night. Now I'm going to cut out the scallop of these. This is a 1 3/8 scallop. I'm going to do 3 of these. Look at that. I did manage to get it out of that little piece of paper.
Nice.
Barely, but I got it. And now I'm going to show you the trick here. A trick on this one. Or actually this one right here. So this is this one right here. My 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 that I had cut. Now you can see, look at here, that's how it's going to layer. I actually have to stamp first, but I'll show you just while I have this here. So I'm going to just lightly tack this on. I'm just going to very lightly. So I'm putting some tape runner on there. I'm going to dot it off so that it's not really sticky, just so that I can tack it on here. Just to do my measuring. And then I'm going to take my little teeny tiny 1/2 inch punch.
It's a nibbler.
Yep.
You can nibble it.
And I'm going to go on this corner and just not go quite all the way down and just cut my little corners here so that it's the same shape.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's quick and easy.
Very sneaky. Oop, dropped it.
Someone's digging.
Somebody's-
They're probably making their bed up there.
Somebody's digging upstairs. They're going to dig their way down. Okay. Now, I need to do the same thing on a little piece of that, which that's not big enough. My pieces were, see, this was where I had all my punch pieces over there, but I'm just going to grab one of these, and this is 1.5 by 1.5. I'm just going to cut a piece of paper, 1.5 by 1.5. And they're digging again. It's hard to say what they're doing. I laid linoleum down for the puppies yesterday so that they don't ruin our floor. And you won't believe this, within 30 minutes, this is no lie, I actually looked at the clock. The other dogs had already gone and chewed up the corners all off of the linoleum that I just put down. Look, this is just like scrap linoleum that I lay down underneath there. So it's not like, you know, our floor. Not that they haven't eaten our floor before, but it wasn't quite so bad. So yeah, they'd eaten it that fast. Okay. Now we got all of our backs. We got our stamped fronts. We are going to take these and use our little guys here.
Stamp them up.
We're going to go and now use these guys.
Happy birthday. Thank you. And
I'm so blessed to call you my friend. Now, there are people out there that love little sayings like this.
is that all part of that same stamp set?
It is
Flower?
all part of this same stamp set.
What was it again? Like Southern Charm or something?
Southern Serenade.
Southern Serenade.
This is definitely a stamp set that, that saying. People love like little sayings like that. I personally couldn't imagine sending a card that said, I'm so blessed to call you my friend. That just, I don't know. That's not me. If I sent that to one of my friends, they would like think that I was on death's door and going down. So they'd be,
Or they'd giggle. think it
so
was a
they'd be
joke.
getting ready to party, basically. Because that's what my friends would do. It's all right. It's always good to have good friends. So blessed to call you my friend. There are people that would use this. No lie, but I'm just saying, it's not me. That's not my saying. But they're fun to do. It was a great shape. Now I'm going to do happy birthday. I'm going to do my happy birthdays on my squares here. Oh, that one a little off.
It's okay.
It's all right. Just keep moving. The kids are waiting. I'll do the back side. That's a nice thing. You got two sides. So when you mess up the front side, just move to the back side. 2 chances every time. Got it on the second one. And now, let's do the thank yous. I will admit that 90% of the cards that I make are thank you cards. Those are the cards that I send the most.
It's handy having birthday cards, though, especially with 2 kids. It seems like
It is.
it never fails. In any given month, someone's going to a birthday party, and you just need a quick card so you can.
When was the last time we went out and bought a card? I just like send them upstairs. It's like, go dig through the pile, find one you like. The problem is I got a boy and a girl, so I have to make sure that I have a ample amount of different ones because Jacob will go through and be like, they're all pink.
Flowers.
Yep. So I gotta be careful to make sure.
Gotta have some masculine ones.
Yes. And then I'm just going to put, you can see I just like did these off the edge a little bit here. Just like to give it a little so that I could do a little color in here. So I just kind of stamped them wherever on here. And because they don't have to be all the way on the label. That one fit on there. I think this one, let's see if I did that one high enough that I can get this one on there. Yep. And let's do a couple of these. I like to use all the stamps. So if you go back to my blog, you'll see, because there's still the background stamp that we didn't use today. I did use that in on one or two of the cards that I did this week. So every one of these stamps, well, not every one. I tried to use the other one. I couldn't do it. Couldn't find a spot for not that it was like a lacy looking one. I mean, not that you couldn't find a spot for it. I just couldn't find a spot for it on what I was doing. Okay, now you can color those up, but again, I'm just going to keep moving without coloring because this is if you aren't doing any coloring at all. And we're just going to layer these guys on. So our 1.5 inch circles, we're layering on the 1 3/8 inch scallop. How are we doing? Are we late for school yet?
I gotta go get kids.
Wait, I'm almost done. We're on the finale.
Oh, goodness.
Finale time. So, get ready. I will say this while I'm gluing these on. Get your orders in. Get that host code in today. Today's the last day to get that in. You'll be entered in, or not entered, you will get in the mail. I will mail these to you so that you can do these. Because this is a cute set of cards, of easy cards. And I can either mail them all done. I can do a complete set for you so that you get a complete card set. Or if you want it as a kit where you can stamp what you want on the front, I will mail you just the card stock and cut. It would be all cut and everything, but you can stamp what you want on the front.
And are they embossed already also?
Yes, but per Stampin' Up! Rules, we cannot stamp and sell it unless it's a completed card. I can't stamp just a piece of paper and send that to you. It has to be a completed card. So that's Stampin' Up! Rules. So that
you can send them the parts and they can stamp it.
That's why you can decide whichever way you want it, because it doesn't matter to me. I can do it either way. And these I would do with dimensionals. I don't have any down here, so I'm just going to glue these on so that we can finale this up here. You guys would have to do the card bases, but most of you, I know that all you guys have, I mean, just white paper to do card bases out of, so that's not a big deal. So I will, for those of you that have done A, B, C, which one is this? For those of you that put in the orders, I will be contacting you, asking you which you want. If you want to do it yourself or if you want it completed. So, because I appreciate your orders. I appreciate if you enjoyed this video, which was a little long. I appreciate you guys sharing.
And the comments.
The comments. I'm going to put everybody in the drawing for the comments. We're going to start doing that because
it's fun. It makes it more interactive.
It does. I like it when you guys comment. You guys should be commenting on what I'm doing right now because let me tell you, I am not putting these labels on very well right now. So I'm surprised that no one's making a comment about that. But let's see.
It's all good.
What have I got left here?
I don't know, but I gotta run.
Okay, I got that one. What do you guys think? Thumbs up, thumbs down, too long, too short? Give me some answers. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to get, that's not right at all. Trying to keep everyone, look, it's right here. Trying to keep everyone happy and having a good time, but I need your help to know what you guys like. I gotta clean that off there. And
No one will know.
no, as I say, pretend like that's not there because it's just glue, but we gotta pretend like it's not there. I'll just hide it like that. There we go. We got it done, guys. Before the kids got out of school, they get out early on Fridays. They only go till 1 o'clock on Fridays. There's our set. Like I said, it's pretty fun. You can do this in less than an hour. We gotta go. Happy Friday. Thank you. Bye-bye.